Hello, beautiful stars out there, earth, air, fire, and water. I hope everyone has been staying prayed up, blessed up, and doing what you do best. It is a beautiful, 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 beautiful late afternoon out here in Rainchild's Corners. And I hope you all continue to do no other than what? Havavin, okay? All right, let's see. Hold on. Okay, so how's everyone been doing? Give me 1 second. I hope everyone has been doing okay. I'm going to be making some lamps, to help you, prosper. You know what I'm saying? Some lamps to help you prosper and, bring in, what it is that you're trying to manifest, basically. It could be anything that you want to manifest. It could be dinero, it could be money. It could be any kind of materialistic thing. Basically, it could be anything that you want to do that's for your highest good. And so these are oil lamps, and these are very unique oil lamps. And so I will be filming that, and I'll let you guys know, and I'm going to show that ahead of time. But yeah, the thing with these type of lamps here, I like to take these lamps and you do these lamps like a specific day, like you can actually do these lamps on the day you were born. And anyway, when I do use any kind of candles, when it comes to doing prosperity candles or whatever, you could actually get yourself a green candle and then get the other candle, which would be the day, your astrological sign, what color the candle would be for your sign. Like me, it would be yellow, for Gemini. Now, so I would use a yellow and green candle, so I would be, talking about that and explaining, about, how I do my prosperity candles, the different kinds. There's no one way of doing anything, and you really don't have to do them on specific days. But it's like this: if you have the type of magic and stuff that you like to do, when it comes to making things happen fast for you. Hold on. Yeah.
Can I get your keys real quick? I left my charger in your car.
Okay, hold on. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, you don't have to do things, like on a certain part of a moon phase, or really you don't even have to do them on certain days. But for me, I look at it like, I like to do things my way and do them specifically towards me when it comes to something that I'm doing to elevate for me. And so I want to make it a little bit more specific, for me. Okay. But yeah, so I would do it for my son, or whatever, and I would actually do it on the day I was born, and I would probably want to start it for me. I would want to start it for, the time I was born, that's just little things that'll help you out, to help things come through fast. And if you haven't been having any kind of luck, we got some thunder. If it hasn't been, if you haven't been having any kind of luck, when it comes to your magic and stuff like that, then maybe it might be something that you might want to look at and look more into. And it could be some type of blockage. So you might want to use something that's going to help you unblock what it is that's blocking your money. Okay. It could be anything that's blocking your money. It don't necessarily have to be a person, place, it could just be something. It could be anything. I'm just trying to sit here and just think what it could possibly be. What I'm looking at, just say for instance, It could be your attitude about the whole situation. You could possibly just be looking at something and be like, oh God, this is not going to work. I'm doing it. You have to go into it with a very positive attitude, and you have to know that these things are working. You just cannot do these things and be like, I hope it works. If you hope it works, it's not going to just work out like that. So you're going to have to do it according to knowing it's going to work. Ain't that right?
Period.
But yeah, it's all about knowing. And so just be sure to, keep those things in mind on things that you're working with, when it comes to yourself. Now, if you're trying to do something that, when it comes to somebody else, and it's not really for you, I don't know. I can't really help, in that department. But what I can do, I can help you help yourself to elevate yourself. That's what I can do. I don't know about no other stuff. Okay. All right. Look like it's getting ready to storm. So. Yeah, so I've been having these, little dreams and stuff that I've been getting, and it's been a lot about someone is, feeling, stuck, but they're not really stuck, and I'm feeling that, there's a loved one that's trying to really get in touch with someone. And they're not listening because they don't know to listen. Sometimes we have to take it in consideration that just because a person acts a certain way or a particular way, and the things that they do, whether it be positive or negative, sometimes they're just not going to see what they're doing that is negative because they don't look at it like that. They're not even on your same frequency sometimes, and they don't think like you do. They don't comprehend things like you do. They're totally in the thought of the way things were before you woke up. So you can't really blame these things on their actions, you know what I'm saying? You can pray for them though. You can do that. Oh, child. I'm one of those people. I'll be wanting to help people so much to the point where I'll damn near destroy myself almost, trying to help someone, but not no more. You just have to pray for a person. But if someone here is feeling like they're stuck and they feel like, they don't have nobody, you're not stuck. You do have somebody. You know what I'm saying? You'll be surprised who's praying for you. You'll be surprised who is praying for you. So, let me see what numbers are for today. Yeah, yesterday was the 777 portal. And I was seeing that number everywhere. That's why I posted it in the beginning of this message, front, but I was like, got on my archangels and sisters. Evil is never welcome here. Let me do that again. Okay. It's not very many of these cards. Okay, so we have the number that come out for today is 111. 111. All right, intuition, a reminder from the universe to listen to your heart and trust your gut. So the reminder today is to listen to your heart and trust your gut and use your intuition on whatever it is that you're dealing with or have to deal with today. Let's see something. Yeah. All right, I'll probably bring this closer in just a second. Yeah, so I had had this little dream, about, someone was feeling stuck and just doing a lot of drinking, pretty much destroying themselves, like deliberately doing it on purpose or really trying to put the pain down. That's what I'm hearing. Like, that's how they cope, they put the pain down that way. If this resonates with you, then table the plies, leave the rest. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this camera right here. We'll bring it in closer, so we can see the cards. And give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Hopefully that's better. I think that's better. Alright. So we're going to go on ahead and look into see this situation and see why this person is, feeling trapped. I'm hearing it's possibly about some type of gossip, some type of gossip. Something that's not necessarily true. Some things can be true, and then some things can be just false. Like I always say, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. But even nowadays, you can't even believe none of what you see because, child, they have so much stuff going on with this technology. You don't know what's real and what's fake. And so, you might think it's one thing, child, and be something totally different. Let's see if I can get that down to size. Okay, let me see if that's working. Yeah, so you could be thinking one thing and then it just be a whole another different ball game. You know what I'm saying? People like to take things and twist it and turn it and do the most with it. You know what I'm saying? It will never be a truth to anything when it hits one ear, and then somebody throws it out there, and then somebody's gonna always add something to it. So then by the time it gets back to you, it'll be a whole different damn thing. It's a mess. Some things will never ever change when it comes to gossip. It'll be one itty bitty little small thing or turn into something just treacherous. And for what reason? All just to hurt somebody. Usually that be the main reason why, things happen like that, yeah. It be all to just hurt somebody. Out of just some little hate and jealousy, whatever the case may be. But if people get off on stuff like that, then just let them, I guess. And so, let's see. Some clear communication coming on through. Let me ring this again. Nothing but the highest light, God Almighty, archangels, ancestors. Evil is never welcome here. Let's see something waited here. Alright, nothing but the highest light, God Almighty, archangels, ancestors. Evil is never welcome here. Thank you. What is it? What is the reason? What is the cause and effect? What is the reason this person is worried? You know, all up in their head, drinking a lot, feeling like they're stuck. What is the reason? This came out second. This one flew over here first, and this came out like this. Okay. All right, so what we got, okay, so basically someone here was, someone was being selfish and manipulative in some type of relentless pursuit of money. All right, they attempted to control or deceive others. All right. And there's some type, and basically this person didn't recognize, you know, a good opportunity when they seen them, because they had they were lacking, you know, of clear thinking. Refused to accept the reality of a situation. No control over bad luck. Says, but it will eventually go away. Indecision, anxiety, and, you know, distraction, and, you know, distractions. And it says it will eventually go away, but this is how this person is feeling. I guess this person feel like they fumbled something. You know, maybe it was some type of opportunity that came their way, and they didn't realize it was a good opportunity. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, it was some type of good opportunity that they did not see that was a good opportunity. But, you know, we have the Wheel of Fortune here, you know, which represents the ever-changing cycle of life, you know, both good and bad. You know, your luck is turning, you know, and a new phase of life begins, you know, it always turns, you know, so just because it might be bad, you know, right now, or appear to be bad right now, and maybe you might have did fumble something, doesn't mean it's gonna, you know, last forever. So technically, you know, they're saying, right now, only thing you can really do about this situation is just basically go with the flow. And there is a promise of a better future. So, you know, someone here fumbled something, and I'm going to find out what it was that was fumbled. And these two right here go together for me. You know, like they said up here in the top, you know, distractions, you know, some type of indecision, you know, no control over bad luck, but it will eventually go away. Refusing to accept the reality of a situation, you know, maybe perhaps, you know, because you feel like you're stuck, you're doing all this drinking and stuff, you're refusing to accept what it was, and you're still refusing to accept what it is, you know, that's got you plagued and all wrapped up in your head and stuff, that got you, you know, on this one track mind of thinking, you know what I'm saying, in this situation. whatever the situation may be. I mean, I don't know what it is yet, but when the Wheel of Fortune came out, the Wheel of Fortune basically was telling you, you know, things is going to always happen. Things will always come into your life. People, places, things, whatever the case may be. You know, you might not look at it to be one way, but then later on down the road, it's going to be something else. You know, it might be a really good opportunity that is right there in front of your face and you don't even realize it. And then it just gets snatched right from you. And then you just, you know, you're left there like, oh my God, what just happened here? What in the world did I do? What's going on? And then we learn from these lessons, because these are always lessons. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a really good job or something that was, you know, facing you. You know what I'm saying? It could have been something that was going to basically take your life to the next level. Could have been a certain place you might have been wanting to go to. Maybe a school, you know, for anybody who's in college. It could have been, like I said, a job. It could have been, you know, a certain relationship, or it could have been some type of move, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. It could have been a number of different things, and you just put your situation in this scenario, but I will clarify to find out what that was. All right, so what else? Okay, so you're feeling like, you know, you have limits on your income. There's no signs of no type of improvement. This is what you're feeling like right now. You're feeling like you've been limited with your money. Bad debt, you know, and some type of missed payments. Someone is out of control financially. Been passed over. You know, some of you all basically, you know, was being looked at, you know, for possibly getting some type of promotion or, you know, a raise, and you were looked over. Maybe because you know, lacking something. There's some type of lack here. And you're feeling like, you know, a lot of people are slandering and talking about your situation, which could be true and may not be true. Either or. What else? But let me see. Okay. So, you're basically feeling stuck, you know, feeling like you cannot move forward because, you know, maybe in the past, not saying, you know, you're like this right now, but maybe in the past, for whoever this resonates with, maybe you were being selfish about something. You know, possibly being, you know, in a manipulative type of state, because you was trying to, you know, win at all costs, you know, trying to get things to, you know, bend in your favor, you know, because you was in some type of pursuit of some type of money. And it was some type of, you know, being in some type of deceptive energy, you know what I'm saying? Or whoever this may resonate with, this person is feeling stuck. You know, this could be something that you went through, or this could possibly be something that you know somebody is going through. And maybe you can probably help this person out. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the wheel is always turning. It's always turning. There's always going to be change. It's always going to be time for change. Not necessarily saying like whatever may happen, whatever was manipulated, whatever was trying to be bent to someone's will that had, some type of malice or bad, some type of intention, you can forgive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some people will be able to forgive. Maybe, maybe this person could have been, I'm hearing lied on, that maybe this person was being like this and really they were not. And maybe someone is just saying you have some type of bad habits when it comes to your financial wealth. By saying that you have bad habits when it comes to your financial wealth, your money, whatever the case may be, someone here, it might not necessarily be you, but someone here was manipulated, being very manipulative when it came to something that did not belong to them. Maybe this could possibly have broke your heart so bad to the point where now you feel stuck. But we'll find out. Let's see. Yeah, some type of slander. People always thinking, their little tricks or whatever work, but it don't work. It might look like it's working, but when it comes down to things nowadays, it's difficult. Literally it is. I'm hearing since the Two of Cups, because the Two of Cups came out here. It says a new love affair, and it says you will be in sync with one another. It says two people finally coming, together after a long flirtation. It says a broken relationship is healed through forgiveness. All right, connections are made in business. The start of a new relationship that will have a dramatic effect on your life. So there's going to be some type of new relationship, or there's going to be some type of relationship that's going to be healed, possibly through someone being very manipulative to cause whatever this was, because it says a broken relationship is healed through forgiveness. So perhaps somebody's going to forgive something here. I'm hearing lack of communication. It was some type of lack of communication. I'm hearing there is some type of lack of communication dealing with, on top of that, someone being deceptive here. Someone being deceptive, talking about people's monies. I'm also hearing what you thought you seen ain't really what it is. So whatever you thought you seen, it wasn't really what it is. Whatever that means to anybody. I'm hearing somebody got one of those fake phone numbers, fake apps, fake lines. Got a couple of those. That's what I'm hearing. And people think you're broke because you have that. That's crazy. Some people like to use those as burner phones. That's what they call them. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, I was in the process of using one of the other raggedy phones. I call them one of the raggedy phones, and the raggedy / fun phone. And that phone was I was gonna, just the reason why I was using it was because I was going to go ahead and hook up another camera, so I needed a new camera and to go in the front door. And it was one of those, one of those screw-in candles. Not candles, child. Screw-in cameras. And so you have to link it to an email. But I didn't want to leave people. I'm hearing people just be into things is, just too much. With the Wheel of Fortune here, the Wheel of Fortune basically tells you, every good day ain't gonna always be good. Every bad day ain't gonna always be bad. In every deceptive way of an individual that's being deceptive, they're not gonna always be able to continue pulling those, pulling the shade over people's eyes like that, because eventually it gets old, it gets tiresome. People eventually finds out the truth. What else? Just go like that. Yeah. Yeah, because no matter what a person does or say about you, whatever the case may be, we have the Eight of Pentacles here. You see this person here. This person is, working really hard, paying attention to detail and everything. You know what I'm saying? And that is what you need to constantly do. Pay attention to detail. But when it comes to a person, trying to slander, hurt you, whatever the case may be, try to destroy you, or tear something down, to have you to the point where you're sitting around moping, drinking, feeling like you're stuck. No matter what a person does, you can always rise up out of that. Like I said, with the Wheel of Fortune, you could, things, there are good days and bad days. You can either let a person feel like they have control over you and feel like a person is literally controlling your life through manipulation all you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can do that forever, but I'm here to tell you, when you know what it is that you do, that is you and your hard work and your dedication and what it is that you put your energy into as far as creating anything or working wherever you may work. You know what I'm saying? You might be a doctor, nurse, police officer, whatever the case may be. If you know whatever it is that you're doing to your best ability, regardless if you're just being a friend to somebody. If you're doing it to your best ability and you know what you have brought to the table as far as anything, and you know what it is that you have done to help another person, or make sure that whatever that you're working on in your work that you're doing, to make sure that it's, to your best ability. You know what I'm saying? Your work, your efforts, your life, everything is going to always speak for itself, because ain't nobody perfect here. No one. No one is perfect. No one's going to have the best of days. And what really burns me up about, certain situations and certain people is people who come out of their mouth with so much junk to the point, it makes absolutely no sense at all whatsoever. To just tear down another individual, hurt another person. And then all the while, these mugs are living in the most horrible ways there is to live. These mugs want to talk about someone else, about how they spend their money, what they're doing with their money, this and that and the other. And literally talk about, other people's situations and they don't even look at themselves. They don't look at what they are doing. You know, if this person is a hardcore criminal, you know what I'm saying, and be doing the most on the slide, but then up front, you know, it's all glitz, glam, and all, you know, all this beautifulness, you know, and just be so happy-go-lucky, whatever the case may be, and literally a whole freaking criminal. Literally just a person just ripping off people. You know what I'm saying? But then they want to act like they're all holier than thou, and they're literally ripping off other people. And then when they see someone else who actually is not like them and they know that, then they want to talk about this person and try to hurt this individual. You know what I'm saying? But with all this mess, you know, it's just letting you know a personal battle is going to come to an end. You know, there's going to be some type of truce here. And there's going to be some type of break in any of this mess. You know what I'm saying? Someone, you know, basically you're feeling, you know, anxious and so basically these anxious feelings that you have been having, they're basically diminishing. You know, it's coming to a halt because, I mean, it is what it is. It's over. It's done with. It says you are not alone. You know, you're not alone with your thoughts, stockpiles, you know, resources, and mentally prepare for the next battle, basically. Because, you know, like they say, with the Wheel of Fortune, you're going to have good days, bad days. Well, one ends, another one comes. You know, there's going to forever be something. You know what I'm saying? It's never just going to be just clean cut, gone. You know, it's going to forever be something. Especially when you're the type of person who does good work, regardless of whatever kind of work it is. Because there's always going to be somebody who's going to want to come through and feel like they have to up-one you with the upmanship. You know, they're going to feel like that. And they're going to feel like they're going to have to be better than you. Even though you're not even in no type of competition, you're just minding your own business. I'm seeing someone here in front of a computer, minding their own business, designing things, doing their own work by themselves. And there's somebody probably lurking behind them, looking over their shoulder, trying to see what it is that you're doing, wanting to get all up in your business. And you're just content doing what it is that you're doing on your own. Yeah, it's always recommended to use laptops to create your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't use no cell phone, child. Especially if you use a lot of Wi-Fi. Those lessons be learned, you know. It says the Four of Swords. Like I was saying, this is just a little battle and a long war, you know. That's what they're saying on this. A battle and a long war. I picked these cards up because I seen some other people was using them or whatever, and I wanted to see what the meanings were on these because, you know, it'd be different, you know, for different type of decks and stuff. So I'm going to pull one more out of here. Yeah, so all this stuff, you know, basically just going to come to an end, you know, for some of you all. Yeah, because you had a lot of choices that came for you, but you know, only one is correct. This is all others will, you know, bring disaster. It says many choices confront you. Only one is correct. All others will bring disaster. It says running away from decisions, problems, and commitments makes things worse. So whatever it is that you might have been running away from, you know, trying to get away from, your first instinct will be to try to do everything on your own. You know what I'm saying? It says back off at the first sign that this isn't working. Selfish decisions bring dishonor and shame. So if you've been feeling like you've been selfish about certain situations and things, like up here in the very top, yeah, being selfish brings dishonor. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, you know, for you to just go out here and think you're supposed to cater to people You know, regardless if someone had done anything, for you, and you gave the person, their praise, or whatever the case may be, you don't have to constantly keep repeating yourself over and over and over again. Your praise that you gave that person was enough. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to keep, giving them praises. Give God all your praises. You know what I'm saying? One praise, a couple of praises, however many praises you may have gave was enough. But I'm also hearing too, some people will look at you like you're selfish just because you got on your feet. But the thing is, people will look at it like, you might have had some help along the way. Yeah, of course, a lot of people get help along the way. You know what I'm saying? But did you do it, in a horrible way where somebody literally was handing you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, or $20 here, $20 there, whatever the case may be? Was you literally coming up off of the backs of others who are suffering behind you coming up? That's the thing. And if you wasn't doing nothing like that, and you busted your ass and you worked what it was that you had to work for to come up and put yourself in a situation that you are in, then no, you do not have to feel guilty about these things. And if that person wants to come out and about and try to say that you did this, that, and the other, and not even look at what it was that they did, when you know good and darn well that you didn't do anything to hurt an individual, and that you literally was there to help, you shouldn't be feeling like this. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, whatever the case may be, your work's going to speak for itself. If this is a work situation, a person, might have took your work. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you did some type of work, and then when you went around, maybe they said, oh, well, I did this. I mopped the floor. I folded the clothes. I did this. I did that. I filed the papers. I cleaned this off, or, I was head of this project right here. And then, on the slide, they go back behind you and say they did all the work, and not, and knowing all the while that they did not do anything. Don't sit up here and drink about it. If you have to prove your point about a couple of things, then go on ahead. But then if you feel like it ain't worth proving your point, then don't even worry about it. But don't sit here and keep further hurting yourself over something that is a total lie. Sometimes it's best to go head on and just talk to the individual before you go out here and start, attacking people. It's always best to be like that before you go attacking someone. Because people are strange, people are weird. They'll sit up here and lie, cheat, steal, whatever the case may be. Down there, they be ready to destroy you. They'll call you the person who is just horrible, and the person who is literally a butthole and want to slash everyone down and tear everyone down. Well, you're not even really that type of person, not even on that time. It's a shame that you could have a whole bunch of people who's supposed to be uplifting a whole community and uplifting their peoples and stuff, but then they're all fighting amongst themselves because of something somebody said, lied about, or whatever the case.
They'll have everyone else thinking you're the one who's mentally unstable, evil, conniving, the whole nine, over a lie that they told.
You got people ready to just rip each other's head off in a whole working environment. It could be a law firm. It could be a some type of plant environment, you know what I'm saying, where they do industrial work, and you got everybody not wanting to work together, because what they say, teamwork make the dream work. But then you can't do it like that, because you got bad seeds, you know what I'm saying, just these weird people that just want to stir up trouble and make problems, when it don't even have to be like that. And I mean, you can't go around thinking you're going to heal other people by being a dirty individual. I guess as many as people as they feel like they uplift, they got to go and tear some other ones down. Or they want to be the best at uplifting. I mean, child, please, honey. You got people out here that can literally put their hands on somebody and can heal them on sight. So I'm here to tell you, if you think you being the best at what you can be when it comes to, healing somebody just by word of mouth, when you really got people out here in the physical that can put their hands on somebody and heal somebody, child, you got a long
On the real
way to
though,
go.
some people just want you to stay sick.
It is
so
not
they can benefit
that
off
darn
of you.
serious, to be honest.
They don't want you to
be able to come and work on yourself to the point where you want to share what it is that you've been through and things that you had to go through without people trying to throw those old ass tricks on you and still go for it. You're one person who deserves all the claps in the world, because it's hard. It is very hard, because I've been through this and I go through it. You know what I'm saying? To where it's not worth, just because a bunch of people want to, throw all this negative energy at me or at you, for instance. And it's not going to make me destroy myself. It's not going to make me do anything that's going to destroy myself. I mean, that'd be like the least thing on my damn mind is a whole bunch of other people I don't even damn know. Even some people from my past child is going to try to come and, throw some negative energy at me. If anything, that's going to make me, go harder. Because that's the type of person I am. I've always been like that. Somebody tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove to you that I'm going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of person I am. Until God says I can no longer do what it is that I'm supposed to do here, that He wants me to do, I will be doing it. Until God says, to stop or slow down or whatever the case may be. When God gives me the notions to do something else, I'll do something else. But right now, I'll do what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? The way I'm doing it. Period. When I was younger, I was so much of a torch. It's crazy how much fire I had in me. And yeah, you can go through
people
things.
Always want to be messing with somebody. Always trying to label somebody. And then gonna have the audacity to say who got a soul and who don't.
But I'm here to tell you, I was one of those people. And trust me, when people told me I couldn't do something, honey, I'd be like, okay. Yeah, I would be upset. I would cry about it. I would kick, scream, or whatever. I remember one time I tried out for this band. And this guy told me, he said, girls your color, they don't sing this type of music. And I remember I went home and I never liked the people to see me cry. And I remember I was crying and my grandma came and she looked at me. She said, what in the world is wrong? And I remember I was turning my head. I didn't even want her to see me. And she just grabbed my face and, what's the matter? And I told her, I said, I don't even have any equipment. I said, I don't have no PA system. I don't have a microphone. I said, that's just one thing. And I said, and then I told her what was told to me. And my grandma was like, you don't listen to those people. You can do whatever it is that you want to do and be whoever you want to be. And she literally took me. We went to a pawn shop, child. She bought me a 24-channel PA system and these two big ass theatrical speakers, a Microverb 3, and a cordless microphone chair. And that was the beginning of my little next chapter in my life then. And I was only like 16. By the time I was 18, I had a full-fledged band with a huge following. And that same guy who told me that, imagine being this person who told this little young girl this, and then both of you guys end up playing at the same spot. And imagine you watching this little black girl, get on the stage. She's like 18, and she's singing her damn heart out to the music that she wrote herself. That's some bomb ass music, and that everybody's liking and singing along with. And then when she gets off the stage and leave and go outside to chill or whatever, everybody in the whole entire place is going out there with her to follow, you know what I'm saying, to listen, to speak to her, you know what I'm saying, and to talk to her band members and this and that and the other. Because it wasn't just all about me. It was about my guitarist, my drummer, and my bass player. You know, we were some cool people. But imagine that. And imagine you getting on the stage and ain't nobody coming in there to listen to you. Not because somebody said don't go in there and listen to them, because nobody was on that shit. It was because they liked it, the people. They liked it, the vibe of the people that were on the stage. This girl and her band, Liquid Circus. They liked it, those people, and wanted to be around those people. It was magnetism. You know what I'm saying? And then you had a lot of people. I had haters then too. You know? But that shit was toned out because my mind was on a one track.
Yep, the ocean is very, very, very deep.
And nobody or anything was getting in my way of it.
And I see a lot of things.
I didn't stop reaching for that goal until I got married. And it wasn't even until I got pregnant and found out I was having a son that I stopped reaching for that particular goal, because I put my mind on raising him. It wasn't about me anymore. It was about my son. So your work will always speak for itself. Needless to say, this is what I mean. Your work is going to speak for itself. Regardless of what anybody say about you, regardless of what anybody try to tell you you cannot do. Period. Remember that. Your work will speak for itself. You know? There are many different things and many different levels of things that people can do, including myself. When you do good work, whether it's making cards, because there are some amazing tarot card and oracle card makers out there, and I say this all the time, whether it's making cards or whatever the case may be, painting. I've seen some beautiful art, people doing makeup, whatever it is that you love to do, that you enjoy doing. Your work will always speak for itself. You know, you could be a tarot card reader and you will not even realize how much, you help people. You might not be, 1 million people at one time, but you might help people in increments. You know what I'm saying? Just like the people who I listen to, I like to fall asleep listening to stuff. I mean, even before I even started, coming on here, I remember listening to certain individuals, and these people are the ones who actually gave me the strength to pick myself back up, to be able to do what I am doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a time in my life where I did go through a long stage of a lot of, I feel like loss that came in my life. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to family members and stuff like that. Things that I had to go through, bad relationships, stuff like that. And, at a point in time in my life, I felt like I was lost, and then I started going through the motions. You know what I'm saying? Had to pick myself up and dust my stuff off and try again, as Aaliyah say, and then, sometimes you come into other situations where you just never think it's going to ever freaking end. But I'm here to tell you, bad things don't never last forever. It never lasts forever. No matter how much a person's going to try to bring you down, you as a person, just not even just work, you being who you are as a person. If somebody likes to sit there and listen to you, that's because they like you, they like your aura, they like what it is that you're bringing out, what you're putting out. These things right here is the things that, is just the most beautiful things on the face of the earth. The people who uplift others, you know what I'm saying, and not even be realizing it. Whether you just, talking junk, you know what I'm saying, bringing things, to the forefront about things that happened in the past.
It would have been a lot, harder, per se.
Because Lord knows,
really had to claw.
when I had to go through that dark night of the soul and the lost space that I was in, honey, I don't even know how I would have made it. There's a few. And they know who they are because I'm on their page. It is what it is. Alright, so let's find out what it was exactly that had this person in this drinking mentality of loss. Drinking mentality of loss. Okay. Resilience after a setback, recovering quickly, determination to rise again, can't keep me down. Well, that resonates a whole lot. This person is, so I'm getting, this is from the past, this person is starting to feel like, they're going to bounce back. Because I had just asked what it was that made them be in the dumps. They're bouncing back. Okay. Okay. So this person who has been on this little drinking spree or whatever the case may be because of something that happened, someone being negative, throwing stuff out there. This person is basically emotionally detached. It says you'll never know. There's a person here that's looking like this. This is crazy. So this could be the person who actually started it. This is a person with a poker face. Hiding true feelings, impossible to read, emotionally detached, you'll never know. This person is the person who caused this individual here grief. But this person is bouncing back from this grief. This can be, let me see what sign this person is. Alright, let's see. Who is this poker face person here? Thank you. That's too many. Too many. Too many. This poker face. Feeling flow. Okay. This is a Libra with a poker face. Who else? At least two. It's just a wheel. Okay, we have Libra, Aries. Get one more. It's a wheel. One flew over yonder. Let me get it. Okay, so we have Libra, Aries, Libra again. So definitely Libra, Aries, Libra. Okay. So this could be something that's in this person's chart. Doesn't have to be. Okay. So whoever this Libra or Aries is, this is the person who has the poker face. And I want to know who is this person who's bouncing back, the one who is going through a hard time. Who is this person? The bounce back. Who is the bounce back? The one who's bouncing back from setbacks. God, it's too many, man. Okay, we have one that's a wheel. Another that's a wheel. Alright. And then we have, let me just do this all over right quick. I'm going to have to take these wheels out because I'm not, Zodiac, well, why is that in here? Give me 1 second. Alright, who's the comeback kid? Who's the bounce back? Who's the one bouncing back here? Alright. Gemini is the bounce back here. Okay. Gratitude. Okay, so we have the poker face person here is the Aries or Libra. And the bounce back person is the Gemini. Okay. Alright, so the reason cause was a person who was the cause of the grief was the person having the poker face. Literally. Person just cold, calculated. That's what I'm seeing with this face right here. Someone very, very cold, calculated individual. The reason why I was tripping off of this picture because it looked just like somebody I used to know. Alright. And what else? What else was the cause, child? This is crazy. Okay, because you're bouncing back, and then you have this self-care Sunday. It says prioritizing rest, recharge, emotionally pampering self. Me time matters. Okay, so basically you have been pampering yourself, and you're on bounce back mode. This Gemini here, and I keep asking the question. What else was the cause of this grief and unhappiness? Okay, we had got this poker face. So let's see if anything else comes out. Okay. It says lessons learned. Okay, it says wisdom gained, completing cycles, growth through experience. I'm wiser now. So someone here is wiser now. You've learned a lot of lessons. So you learned a lot of lessons. You're wise. Yes. learned a lot of lessons and wise, because you were in a draining situation. Some type of toxic influence. Yeah, it was some type of toxic influences. Some type of energy vampire. Either you was in some type of draining connections. Some type of connections that were draining. You had to learn some type of harsh lessons you're learning now. With life lessons. You started prioritizing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And learning to recharge. And now you're in bounce back mode. Because you were in this mode where you were doing a lot of drinking, self-sabotaging yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been connected with a whole bunch of energy vampires that's just been all up in your life. Making things harder for you. Looking all like this. Look. Yeah. That mug got black eyes, child. Ain't got no kind of emotion. Someone who just can throw stuff out there. Want to suck the life out of you. Yeah. Possibly got yourself in some type of short-term war until spring, cuffing season, temporary relationships. You was in some type of temporary relationship that wasn't meaning no type of good. I'm hearing no type of good, no type of honor. There's a harsh lesson you had to learn because this person was nothing more but an energy vampire. Trying to mirror your energy and everything. They have no type of emotion. They're dead inside. Been out here just throwing your name in all kind of, situations. Yeah, had you, stuck at some type of crossroads, child. You had a lot of important choices that's coming through. So your next choices that's coming through, your next steps, they matter. So they want you to choose wisely on these next steps. Because you have this energy. I'll call that the la-la energy. Twilight Zone la-la energy, child. It'd take the la-la sisters to get that mug away. Because that's something totally different. Yeah, because you really do have happiness. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Something like that. One second. Yeah, okay, because you're healing childhood wounds. Reconnecting with joy, playfulness, and restored. Return to innocence. Being able to create, and that's what I'm hearing, create. Reconnecting with things that make you happy. Why? Let me see. Why did what was the point? What was the point and the purpose of having this person the way they had him? What was the purpose and point? What was the purpose? And what was the point? Purpose and point, purpose and point, purpose and point. This person, child. It says unbothered. This person is literally unbothered. This person stirred up a whole shit show and just sitting back, relaxing and unbothered. And it says peace despite chaos. It says calm attitude, detachment from negativity, not my drama. You can look at it both ways, you know. The person could have stirred up a whole bunch of mess and literally just walked away, you know, because the ghosted card is here. Or maybe they felt like maybe by you being unbothered about things, maybe that's what made them stir up a whole bunch of trouble. What I'm basically looking at, I'm seeing this person just stirred up a whole bunch of mess and is technically just unbothered, you know, because if they are hiding their true feelings, you know, impossible to read, emotionally detached, then of course it ain't none of their problem. That's your problem now. All that stuff they stirred up is your problem. So now they basically just ran off and hiding, and you know, they ghosted and they went on their merry way and just left you high and dry.
For some of you all, and for others, you left them, and that was why they stirred the shit pot.
Yeah, it's broken promises. You know what I'm saying? That's what fell. I had to reach and get it. It says broken promises, disappointed expectations, failed commitments, lost trust, words meant nothing. So whatever it was they told you, it didn't mean anything. They could care less. They're not even bothered by the fact that you went through something behind what it was that they did. Maybe it was something you was trying to help them fix, and it ended up just being all on you for no reason at all whatsoever, because it was just all lies.
What the
Says platonic trap. Unreciprocated feelings, stuck as friends. Like a sibling to me. You know, maybe this person, you know, could have friend zoned someone. You know, could have friend zoned you. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they just told people they were just your friend. They didn't reciprocate your feelings. And they possibly told people, you know, maybe you were like a brother or a sister or something to them. You know what I'm saying? After they stirred up all this mess, you know, made these broken promises and stuff, and then you turn around and just, you know, put you in a platonic trap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, on red. Ignored messages. Maybe, you know, you was trying to communicate with this person. You know, your messages was ignored, waiting anxiously, no replies. Maybe they're just busy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you was waiting on this person to contact you or something, or you possibly leave this person messages, and that goes along with the ghosted. This individual ghosted. They stirred up the shit pot and basically I had you thinking it was going to be one thing, and it really was not going to be anything at all, because it was just all a part of some kind of diabolical plan, and the plan has not surfaced yet. But I'm hearing, you know, situational single. Someone is remaining single. It says temporary loneliness, choosing solitude, waiting for better, not settling. So now you're waiting for something better and you're not settling. Not settling for mess anymore. But why did this person, I'm trying to get this out, why did this poker face person stir up the shit pot? Now look at that. Oh. This person, this was some type of side hustle. Always grinding. This was work to this person. This was not love to this person. This was work. Work, not love. Yeah. Meeting, appointment, deadline, call, okay, booked and busy. This person is booked and busy all the time. They got a full schedule. With this side hustle here. So possibly someone here fell in love with someone who was really nothing more but an energy vampire who basically go after people to possibly gain something. I'm just hearing to gain something of material. And they don't do it, you know, for true love. The love bombing, what I'm hearing, the love bombing is just a part of the plan. This is just something they do. They think if they see that you possibly have, you know, a lot of wealth or whatever the case may be, then they go after you. And they do it, you know, just to get some type of gain off of it. And then, you know, we have catfish, pretending to be someone else online, fake profile, deceptive image, not, you know, who you think I am, you know, because this person was nothing of what you thought they were. They were basically a catfish. This person is not who they say they were. Because the things that they're doing is just a side hustle. This can be a man or a woman. Yeah, two-faced. A very two-faced individual. Sweet sour chair. It says one thing, does another. Betrayal behind kindness. Pretend loyalty. And pretend with loyalty. So this person had you thinking one thing and another, and it was another. This person but whoever you are, you're on the glow up tour. You're glowing up. Your self-improvement. You're improving yourself, finding your confidence, personal transformation better than ever. You're just growing and you're getting better. Everything's looking up for you now. And then you see this person in the background just staring at you like, oh my God, you know, because you're getting better. Stronger, better, faster, looking good, happy, glowing. You know, the story can go in so many different directions. Yeah. Yeah, so technically I'm going to end this here because we have here overnight success, rapid rise, sudden recognition, unexpected breakthrough, all eyes on me. Because all I want is cash and things, 5 double low bins, flood and flash your ring. Let's see, get one more. Yeah. In your safe space, chair. In your safe space. Emotional sanctuary, comfortable, solitude, protected. Here I am safe. So, regardless of whatever this case may be, as far as this person doing all this drinking, it doesn't matter because this person is trying to rise up. This person is bouncing back. They're bouncing back because they have, you know, self-care for themselves. Meaning they love themselves. If you've been in the dumps, you love yourself. You went through some life lessons. You know, you was basically deceived by an individual who told you a bunch of lies. You know what I'm saying? This person lied to you. This person lied to you about a lot of things. This person was a catfish. This person had you thinking they were doing one thing and it was another. You know what I'm saying? Actually, this person had a lot of people thinking it was one thing and it wasn't even all that. You know what I'm saying? That's craziness. I'm even hearing some people thought that this individual here, whoever the story is about, you know, if it's about you or if this is your story, this individual right here had people thinking you was obsessed with them. And it was really the other way around. You know, there's a lot of broken promises, you know. They could care less. They could care less. You did not put up with a lot of their mess. You know what I'm hearing? That's what I'm hearing. You didn't put up with a lot of their mess. You just basically had to learn to love yourself. You know, you have your solitude, your safe space. Everything's looking out for you. And you're choosing to stay single. You know, because you got ghosted. You got ghosted. First you got catfished. You know, then you got yourself in a situation with a person that you thought that was all that in a bag of chips. And then this individual basically, you know, put a whole bunch of lies out there about you, you know, slandered you or whatever the case may be. I'm hearing slander someone else. Someone that was close to you, someone that you knew too as well. And basically threw all that emotional baggage and stuff, whatever was going on, onto you. And child, you had to learn some life lessons behind all that. Because, you know, we sometimes don't think people can be that ugly. But do know, you know, this person is booked and busy now, child. And on this side hustle like never before because you know, I'm hearing they didn't get what it was they needed to get out of you. They didn't get what they need to get out of you. No. You know, because, you know, when you get to feeling like that, honey, you need to just step back, relax, and get on away from there. You know, people are crazy. You know, and I'm gonna basically come back. I'm gonna pull some zodiac cards. If you want to come back in a few, I'm gonna pull whatever zodiac card I pull. That's what I'm gonna do a reading for. A little small reading. Okay. All right. Love each and every one of you guys. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to come back. Love y'all. This is.